Welcome to Threes and TDs, an account where we talk about the Carolina Panthers in the National Football League. So that's what we're doing here today. We're going to talk about what happened in practice today. There's a lot to discuss, a lot to talk about. We play the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday, so there's just a lot to cover. So let's get right to it. So today was the final, they're calling it the end of training camp, because really after training camp and after the last preseason game, there's practice until the start of the season, which is going to be really 2 weeks after. I think the start of the season is on Thursday, 2 weeks from now. So we're right there. We have made it through draft season, through the summer, and we're right here, ready to see what's going to happen. So there was a lot that happened in practice. It looked like the offense was playing pretty well. Jalen Coker had another phenomenal practice. Jalen is going to have a phenomenal season, I believe, with the Carolina Panthers. As long as his health holds up, I have no concerns for him whatsoever. I have zero concerns about Jalen and how he's going to play. So that's a positive. There was a fight. The big thing of the story was that there was a fight that broke out between, I think it was the safety, Trevin Morig, and I can't remember who the other person was. But anyways, it was offense, defense, and it got physical. It got physical, and then they were fine, but they just kept chirping. And Canales, the beat reporters were saying that Canales was actually feeling kind of happy about that. He was smiling. I think that's the kind of practice that he wanted to have. And if you listen to his presser on Monday, he was clear on that. He said, this is the kind of practice that I want to have. So I thought that was good. The offense was hitting on all cylinders at a certain point of the practice, but then they were struggling. And while, for those of us that are sickos that kind of follow this on Twitter live, it sounded like Canales was the one that was asking them to do sprints, but then come to find out it wasn't Canales, that it was, it wasn't Canales, it was Hubbard and Bryce, who it was self-imposed. And Canales talked about it in his presser. He said, I'm not a big fan of the gassers and the sprints because I already think that our practices are high intensity. But that's what happened. And I don't know. I like that the players are taking initiative over this kind of stuff. So yeah, those are kind of the updates from camp. There was a question that Carolina Blitz was asking Canales about the preseason and who was calling plays. It looks like the offensive and the defensive coordinators are calling plays the first and the second game. For this third game, by the way, Jalen Coker is going to play for the third game. For the third game, it looks like Canales is going to be calling plays again. And this is part of the thing I don't understand. Why would you not want to have continuity with Bryce, with your starters and Canales? And I, once again, for some people, especially Panthers Twitter, some of y'all are wilding out there, but for some people it's what does it matter? Why does this matter so much? It matters because we won 5 games last year, and it matters because it would be beneficial for our quarterback and our coach to continue to build continuity. So I don't fully understand it. He said it's part of a developmental thing. When he was an assistant coach, getting these opportunities was incredibly important. I understand it. I just don't think this is what the team needs at this moment. What this team needs is for its quarterback and for its coach to be on the same page. That's what it needs. So, anyways, that's what he said about it. I don't have much to say about that, except that I don't know that I fully agree with the decision, but it is what it is. I appreciate his candor. And I appreciate his thoughts about it. The other piece of news that is more NFL related, but has to do with the Panthers too, I believe, is that Anthony Richardson is not going to be the starter for the Indianapolis Colts. Daniel Jones is going to be the starter, and the language the Steichen used was that he was going to be the starter for the season, like for the foreseeable future. This is not a game-to-game thing. The reason this matters for Panther stuff is because there were some pundits that were saying that Anthony Richardson should be picked by the Panthers instead of Bryce Young or instead of C.J. Stroud. Like, there were people that were looking at him and being like, oh my gosh, this guy's amazing. So really, really, really interesting that happened. I feel for the guy. To have that much pressure on you, to be a top 4 pick, and to just for it not to pan out, it's hard. It's hard. So I feel for him, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what the future holds for him, but definitely hoping for all the best. All right, we'll have another one tomorrow. I don't think there's. I don't remember what Canal said. I don't know that there's a practice tomorrow, but if there's a practice, we'll cover all the questions, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, hope you all have a good one. Bye.